for almost everyone. So my girlfriends both have very stressful jobs, and these are very old girlfriends. They were in my wedding. That tells you a lot. We've been married 34 years, and we went to college together. Anyway, they both have very stressful jobs, and I thought it would be fun to make them a little present. They live in a Pittsburgh, large city, and they both have long commutes on a bus. And I thought I would make them a little care package so that they would be able to kind of wind down after a difficult day. So I bought them each these sets of art markers that I got there from Pro Art, and it says ages 8 and up, so I think that'll be good for them. And I thought the first thing I would do is play with them just for a little bit to see how I like them, and to see if I think that there's something that maybe you guys should look into getting. And so I thought I'd just color just a little bit with them, and we could talk about the price point, etc. Like I said, I got these at AC Moore, and when I bought them, I wasn't really sure what I was getting because they were $6.99 for a set of 20, and then you use your 40% off, and then you realize that for a little bit over $3, or no, it was like $4.24, I think is what they ended up being. You're just not sure what you're getting. So I figured what I would do is I would color with them, and we would know whether or not these were something that anyone else should look into getting, because why not try something out so that the rest of you know whether or not it's an investment you should make? I mean, even though it's only a little bit of money, in the long run, if it's something you're never going to use because it's not a good tool, my rule, I don't like to buy anything unless it's going to work for me. And so I want to make sure that these work for my friends, and if you're interested in them, they work for you as well. So I'm just outlining this flower in this orange color. Of course, they're all not, there's no color labeling on them at all, so we don't really know what they, what their names are, so we'll just call them what they look like. Lighter red is what we're going with on this one. And I'm sure these are water-based markers. I don't know that for sure, but I'll look before I am done so that we know. I don't want to take too much time doing this, but I did want to, like I said, I wanted to play with a few of them so we all kind of knew how they work. $6.99, and the colors, I think it's a really great range of colors. It's mostly primaries. There's just a few, like there's a nice deeper purple. It'll be nice for coloring flowers and the things that that I have in mind for them. Anyway, that's what I bought, and so that's our first step of our project. We know now that our markers are good, and what I'm going to do is I don't know if you can see this part of it. Ugh, it's kind of stuck there. I don't know if you can see this part, but right there's a big hole. And what I thought I would do is take one of those, I think they call it an O-ring. I might be wrong about that. It's a thing that's a ring that you can open up and close and put papers in. I thought I would connect the papers to that, and then they could take them off. But let's talk about the paper. The papers I'm going to be using, I'm using 110-pound cardstock, only because this is Georgia Pacific, and you get it from Walmart very inexpensively, and it's not, this isn't really 110-pound cardstock, although that's what they call it. It's not by any way, shape, or form as thick as you would think 110-pound cardstock would normally be. I thought what I would do is just cut a couple sheets and show you my intent for the size of these pages. What I wanted to do is I'm going to cut them in half like an A2 card, and then I'm going to cut that in half at 4 1/4 and see if I like that size. I mean, I think if I was going home on the bus and I was going to color, I think that would be plenty big to color on. So I'm going to try and do 2 pages at a time and see if my cutter would work on it. It did okay. I had to send my geez, I can't remember the name of it. My Fiskars, my big Fiskars, had problems with that wire again, and so I had to call them, and I think they're going to replace my unit because I've had, I think you know, I've had to change the wire out in it. I think this will be the 3rd time that I've had to contact them about the wire, so that's where we stand. So the markers, if I didn't check that yet, I'm going to, just in case they aren't water-based, which I'm sure they are, but just in case, I want to make sure that they don't smear when I do that. And then I have this set of stamps from Stampin' Up! Called Journaling Fun. I thought at the very least, if they don't want to color, they could write themselves to-do lists on the back. So I'm just going to stamp on each one of these. This is how many I made. I don't know, maybe 30. I'm not sure. I'm not going to make you sit through everything, but I just thought I would show you, just, you know, I'm going to do these sideways. It's easier for me to do things kind of on an angle. But I thought it would be easier if I did this in like assembly line fashion, so that I would be able to get them all stamped on one side and then stamp them on the other. I have this postcard stamp, and I thought, wouldn't it be fun if I changed some of these over from being just a memo, you know, like notes to themselves, and make them postcards on the back, and then they can just do their little drawings on the front and postcards on the back. Isn't that cool? So I'm going to do a few of those, and hopefully my magnets won't kill me in the process. Look, one of them just blew in half. That's the thing about these magnets. You have to be really careful of them because they are so strong that I've had that happen to more than one where they break. Actually, 2 of those are broken. Wow. So I just thought I would forewarn you that that's something that you should think about with these Misti magnets, is they do break on you sometimes, and they do that too. And I did buy a tool for myself. Anyway, you put all your magnets, oh sorry, had it in the wrong place. You put all your magnets in, and then you push that lever, and it pushes the magnets through. And I know that you can use the Misti itself to push things on the side, but like I said, I've pinched myself so many times with these magnets that, I just put them together again, that I prefer to not do that. So let me get one more apart, and as in all things, I push things the wrong way every time I do things. I wouldn't struggle if I pushed it in the right direction, because you know, that's the way it works. Anyway, you just push that bar, and out comes the magnet. And then just keeping them apart from each other. That's my big problem with them. Okay, let me do one more for you, and then we'll go on to actually doing some of our, oops, that magnet's in the wrong place. And there you go. Would go with a stack of the memos, or the postcards, sorry, stack with postcards, and a stack with the notes, so that they would make, you know, that I could alternate and make sure that they kind of had some of each. I didn't want to have like a big stack of one kind and then you know, I wanted to alternate is what I'm saying. Jeez, not thinking what I'm saying. So I'm going to start out. I don't care that I got a little bit of dirt on the back. Again, these are just for them to play with, and I wanted to make sure that they enjoyed it. So I'm going to do, the first one is going to be this flower, and I'm doing it upside down because it's a bigger image, And I'll read you the stamps where they're from. I'm probably not going to put the stamp information in the bottom because there's going to be so many. This one is from Stampendous, and it's a Fresh Bloom Q130. And I'm doing all of them the same. Like if one flower is Memo, then the other flower is going to be Memo. Does that make sense? But I'm going to do 4 total of each design, so that if they decide that they wanted to write notes with one, and then afterwards they wanted to do one as a postcard, they'd be able to. First ones that are done. I think they'll be cute. I think they'll like them. They'll be fun to play with. So we'll go on to the next one. The next one I'm going to be doing is going to be a city scene. It's from Hero Arts as well, and it's called Silly Scape K5425. I loved it. And when I saw this cityscape, I thought that would be so fun to color, and also it would be really fun to do as a postcard, I think, because like let's say Mary or Beth go to visit somewhere and they want to send postcards, but they don't want to go out and buy them. They'll be able to just go into their stash and do them. The one thing I want to make sure of is if I'm doing a postcard, I want to make sure that the postcard, that the picture is in the right direction. There's our little cityscape. I might do something else. Maybe I'll try to do the image on both, like on the edges, like continue it. Oh, wish me luck. Well, that wasn't bad. Not terrific, but it wasn't bad. Better on that second one. So that's a postcard. $774, and it is a secret who makes it, but PSX, sorry. That's from the herd, and it's the great big animals. It's a bunch of animals together, and I've never used it, and I don't know why I've never used it, but this stamp, more than anything that I would do, this stamp is so them, it's not even funny. They will love this one, and I'm going to do more than 2 of those. And I'm going to do it in the Misti. I'm probably going to end up doing 6 of these because it's just such, like I said, it's just so them. They will just love this stamp. They'll think it's hysterically funny because they have the googly eyes on them and they're just so odd. You'll see in a second once you see it stamped on there. I maybe will put an image or a sentiment on there too. Just looking in on you, perfect. They'll love that. I love this stamp. When I bought it, I thought I would make it for them for their birthdays because they love this kind of thing, and I thought I would definitely do that. And then this opportunity came up to use them, and I thought, well, they will just love this, so I'll make sure I use it for this instead, or probably both. Good enough. Just looking in on you. Isn't that hysterical? Look at those animals. Aren't they funny? Love them. Think they're the coolest. Let me get another piece of paper. I think I told you, I did tell you what stamp set that was from. I wanted to make sure I did, because sometimes I forget. That's a big one to stamp up, or to ink up, that's for sure. That's why when I use the Misti, I sometimes use my foot because to rub over the top of it, because it's so, when you have a big stamp like this, it's just so hard for me to get all of it inked. This is an old stamp set from Stampin' Up called Simply Summer, and it's got a sailboat and a bicycle and the sun and a pitcher of iced tea or you know, whatever. And it'll be really easy to color this in. I just thought it would be kind of an easy, fun one for them to do. So I'll get that out of the way. Maybe I'll do a couple sailboats on here so that they can think their boats are just kind of going for a big ride. What you do to punch your holes, and that involves Crop-a-Dile, which is this tool if you don't have one. Let me get a little bit of the ink out of the way because I'm going to have to continue because I have a lot more I have to punch, but I want you to see this. I don't want you to have to sit through all of it. Anyway, there's a small hole on this side, a bigger hole on this side, and I'm going to go with the bigger hole. I'm going to punch 2 at a time because I think I probably could punch 4 at a time actually. And I'm going to make sure my postcards are going in the right direction. And I'm going to punch them in the top center going this way. I don't know if that's what I want to do, but that's what I think I'm going to do. Oh, I used the wrong thing. That was lucky. Jeez, Sandy, what are you thinking? Clearly, the little paper did not want to come out of there. What I do is I had trouble showing me using the Crop-a-Dile before, so I thought what I would do is get really close to the camera, and with the postcard facing up, you're going to go in through the top and poke the hole. And then again with the postcard at the top, the word postcard, poke a hole. And then this one is another postcard, didn't think it was. Poke one more hole. Whoops. Dropped it. Okay. Then what I wanted to do is show you how I'm going to string them up. Of course that one, the paper didn't pop out on. Naturally. I always have one of those. Okay. So what I'm going to show you then is how I'm going to put these in the ring. I have the circle through the plastic, and then I'm just going to take a few at a time. Hopefully I put this close enough in the screen you can see it, that I will be able to, oh, well, I'll just do that. How about if I just do that? If I just miss the ring completely. There you go. All you do is you clip it like that and they're completely closed. So those are both sets, and I thought I would walk through one set of them for you so that you could see all of the different designs I used. If you have any questions about some of them because they aren't, or you didn't see all of them, let me know and I'll tell you what sets they are. This set you saw, this was a little difficult to do because I didn't feel like masking, and I had trouble with the stems. And then, you know how I told you, make sure you do the postcards right side up? Well, that one's upside down. This one is Stamps Happen, Carolyn Shore's right. I love her birds, her robins. They're really cute. You saw those. More of the robin. And this is also Stamps Happen, Carolyn Shore's right, and this is a bluebird. And then the pansy stamp you saw, the city stamp you saw, more pansy. Oh, I think this is a penny black with the rabbit. City you saw this, the herd. So all in all, there are 18 in each bundle. So my two girlfriends are going to have, I think, some fun with that, and give them something to hopefully calm them down. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you understand that I have to go because my dog's going crazy. Hope you give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Please let me know if you need any more information about any of this. I'd be glad to give it to you. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.